Hey, what's up, guys? Quick thoughts about tonight's game, Knicks versus Boston, game one, the second round matchup. It's a series that, I mean, in the heart of many Knicks fans, we know it's going to be an uphill climb. I mean, my head tells me the Knicks win a game, maybe two, at best. I mean, and that they'll be. I think they will be competitive. I didn't think they'd be competitive in this series until after kind of analyzing the Pistons series that they had, hard-fought series. That after that, I kind of had a little bit more hope with them that I think they'll do better. I think they'll compete in this series, and I think a lot of the players will show up. I think Cat will be there. I think he'll be a problem. I think the starting lineup will be good. And the bench is what I'm worried about. I want Tibbs to play more of that bench, and it's kind of, see what we got with the guys we have. Shamit, I want Shamit to get a little bit more playing time. Payne, Deuce and Mitch are gonna get their time. So I just want Tibbs to lean on the bench a little bit more. Don't burn out the starters too much. But I think the Knicks will compete. I mean, early predictions, just if I'm going by my head, I think the Knicks lose it in 5. If I had to really put the Celtics healthy, are just too much. I think the Celtics will win everything. I think they'll win the title. They'll probably face who they face. I thought it was OKC, but now the way Denver's looking, and the way the Warriors kind of played last night, and Minnesota, it's tough. It's tough to see who's coming out of that West. So, yeah. like gun to head, I'll still stick with OKC. So maybe looking at Boston, OKC, with Boston winning it. But that's neither here nor there. That's a long way down the line. We focus on this Knicks series. The key to this series is the Knicks perimeter defense. The Celtics, one of the number one teams in the league in three-point shooting. That first game, they annihilated us. I never seen that. I know it were threes everywhere, and it set the record for the most threes in a regular season game. So the Knicks, who have a history of playing bad perimeter defense, it's going to have to be a team thing. They got to slow down on the switches. Just try to play a little more man-to-man. Stay with your guys so it's less ground to cover off of those switches to the perimeter, because the Celtics are going to drive and kick all day. So just slow down. Every man they have to kind of be on the string defensively. Play better defensively. Less switches, man. 2, offensively, start to use cat and pick and rolls. The Knicks went away from that pick and roll that they did early in the year, and no one could stop it in the league. You have the second best center in the league and one of the top 5 point guards in the league. Run that pick and roll, pick and pop all day, and punish the Celtics, man. Number three, just faith. Faith. Each and every man on that team, from 1 to 15, has to believe they can win this series and they can beat the Celtics. Media, fans, I myself, like I said, in my heart, the Knicks win it in 7. And starting 5 plays incredible, outplays the Celtics starting 5, and the bench give key contributions at key moments. The Knicks win, this is my heart talking, the Knicks win 3 of the 4 games in Boston and win a game at home to close it out. Because I think they still have to show that they can play well at home. They've been very shaky last couple of years. This particular Jalen Brunson squad at the greatest arena on earth, which is nuts, but it is what it is. All right, so heart tells me the Knicks win 4 games to 3 in a 7-game series. Head, nah. I think Celtics will win it in 5. But let's have fun, Knicks fans. Let's enjoy this series. Let's root the team on. It would be the 3rd straight time they're eliminated in the second round if that's the case. But you know what? So what? They're our team, all right? They're our team. We love them. Let's root for them, all right? They've got this, and this shirt is symbolic. This is at this playoff game 1 against the Pacers. And this very building many years ago, man. The Carmelo team, that Knicks tape team, if you guys remember. So let's see, Knicks. Let's go. It's gonna be constant analyzing this particular series. So we'll see how it goes. And just little final thoughts. Great win, Game 7 win by the Warriors against the young upstart Rockets. Rockets had the number 2 seed in the West, but that still didn't stop when great players clutching up and doing what they do. You know, from Steph second half to Jimmy Butler to Draymond Green. You may hate Draymond Green, but he comes to play. He's excellent defensive player, and these guys have won titles, so they know, you know, him and Steph, so they know what it takes. So that, you know, for the Rockets, you know, Udoka, great season. Always root for Udoka. I thought he got a raw deal in Boston, but great to see him bounce back with this team, this young Rocket team. Jalen Green, man, you have got to work on your game, dude. You have to. And I don't want to hear any more people make the comparison between him and Cade Cunningham. There is none, all right? We just faced this guy, and Cade Cunningham was phenomenal. He was great, man. So Jalen Green, you can't have a Game 7 performance like that, man. That's inexcusable, dude. All right? But great to see that. The other Game 7, the Nuggets against Harden, against the Clippers, because Harden is the first name that comes to mind when I think of that Clipper team. James Harden, man, listen, a phenomenal year. He played like an MVP in that last month. I won my fantasy leagues because of this guy. He was great. James Harden fan, but horrible performance, man. You cannot. Both of these guys, Jalen Green and James Harden, you can't have single digits, man, in a must-win game, man. You cannot do that, man. So, you know, James Harden, you know, you got to bounce back, look at the tape, play defense, but he's older. So for him to cover ground and do the things he did as a young man, which he didn't really do, play defense strong like that on a string, it's you're asking the impossible. So it'd be interesting to see where the Clippers go from here. You know, what pieces they can add to take them over that hump. But great performance by Nikola Jokic. Again, Russ, one of my top 5 favorite point guards ever. Great to see him do well. Great to see him give him a spark off the bench. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. Russell Westbrook. Phenomenal. And I go back to when we used to have debates, me and my boys, who was better, Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose. And listen, man, West is still playing. Russ is still playing, man. Future Hall of Famer, top 5 point guard to me that I've ever seen, and the greatest of his generation. It's good to see him win. I root for Russ. So good to see that team advance, and that'll be a great series, OKC Nuggets. That's going to be great, man. Great series, man. You know, Minnesota playing the Warriors is going to be another great series, man. Yeah. Oh, man. What the heck? If I picked it, all right, I'll say OKC in 7 against the Nuggets. Minnesota over the Warriors in 6. So those are my predictions for the West. And we go to the game last night. Cleveland playing the Pacers. I caught the later end of that game, but I didn't know Darius Garland was out with a toe injury. Now, speaking to a friend of mine who was like, it's just a toe. Now, toe injuries are serious, man. You can't plant, you can't move, you can't cut. And normally those type of toe injuries, these guys, especially now in today's NBA, they're out for a while. Even in the 90s, man, a lot of guys that had toe injuries were out for a long time. So if they don't have Darius Garland, that series is going to be a quick series, man. If he doesn't play again to the next game, which will be tomorrow night, I can see, man, I would probably say Pacers in 6. Pacers in 6. You know, if Darius Garland can come back and be healthy, then Cavs in 7. So it really depends on his health. Darius Garland is the key to that series. Without him, the floor general orchestrator, they're finished, man. So, all right, so that pick is kind of conditional. If Darius Garland is healthy, Cavs in 7. If he is hurt, Pacers in 6 because I'm going to give the Cavs at least 2 games at home. I think they can tough out 2 games at home. I don't know if they can beat Pacers in Indiana. Pacers are going to be running them ragged, man. Those bigs are going to have to keep up with that pace of play. I don't know. Without Garland, I don't know. So anyway, that's it. This was Elo from Fan Pros giving you my predictions, my thoughts, and also in front of the greatest arena ever. Don't you ever forget that, fans out there. You can say what you want about Knicks fans. We are the most loyal. We're worldwide. We're everywhere, continent to continent, man. We invade other arenas. You're going to see us tonight in Boston, in that Boston Garden. And here's a fun fact, Knicks. We won the last Celtics series. The last Celtics series I remember the Knicks played when they were huge underdogs. And this is for Knicks fans. If you don't remember this game, I want you to look it up. Look up this series. The Knicks playing the Celtics, I believe this was 1990, the 1990 playoffs. Or not, yeah, I think it was 90 or 91 playoff. Patrick Ewing hits an incredible 3-point shot in the Boston Garden to seal the game. And this was against the Larry Bird Celtics with, I believe they had Reggie Lewis on that team, rest in peace, and they had a solid team. Rick Fox was on that team, if memory serves me correctly. But brilliant. That was one of the great Knicks playoff performances that I've seen from the Patrick Ewing era because they were not favored to win that. You're talking about the great Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish team. They were at the end of they weren't fully like out the door, but they still were an excellent team, and you rarely went into Boston Garden unless you were named the Pistons and beat that Celtic team and beat that Celtic team in a playoff game. The only teams I know that really ever went in and won in a playoff series like that during Larry Bird's era was maybe the 76ers and the Bucks, and the Pistons. But other than that, that was it. That was a great team, and they ruled the East with the iron hand before Isaiah and the Pistons dethroned them. But long story short, we faced that team, and a great series. It went 5. It was in, and it went to Boston Garden, and the Knicks won in Boston Garden, eliminated the Celtics on their own home court. Look up that playoff series. It's game 5, Knicks versus Celtics. I believe it's 1990 or 91, Knicks fans. You will love it. And it also goes to show, a lot of people out there say Patrick Ewing's not a clutch player. These are Knicks fans that don't know the full body of work Patrick Ewing did. He was an excellent performer for us. He was very good he was great in the clutch. He had one miscue where he tried to do a layup finger roll from the foul line against the Pacers in 95, and he gets killed for that all the time. Patrick Ewing was extremely clutch. Look his numbers up, look his playoff games up, his playoff moments up. But one of the top ones was that Boston Celtics game 5 in Boston Garden where we eliminated the Celtics. We were underdogs going into that series. It was one of the happiest moments I had as a Knicks fan, where I leapt out of my chair when he hit that 3, because it was just icing on the cake. A center hitting the 3 back then was crazy, especially him. And it was almost like a step back 3 too, from the corner. So, and Stu Jackson was our coach then. All right, so look it up, look that game up to give you a little hope, Knicks fans, that we could do this against the Celtics. And I'll talk to you soon. Keep your head up, keep your faith up. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's go. Game 1 is the number 1 important game. Let's steal that game at all costs. If we can get that game, it's going to be a series. It's going to be a series, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Till then, I'll talk to you later. Peace.